Hey, what's going on, guys? Reseller Tom here. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're talking all about the volume game on eBay, how to effectively sell more lower ticket items that are quicker. It is more of a grind. You're going to be shipping more. You're going to spend way more time doing photos, measurements. You're going to spend more time shipping and packing and storing. And for some people, that's something that they want to do. If you want to be really busy, it's a good strategy. If you want to stay busy, it's a good strategy. I kind of implement both. I focus on really high tier, high sell-through rate items. And then also when those, for whatever reason, don't sell good in that day, I have the mid-tier and the low tier also going to work. It's kind of like having multiple fishing lines in the water. And so I kind of structure my business as of right now to have all the different lines and all the different ponds, so to speak. So would I like to just have 2,000 items that are high ticket, high sell-through rate? Yes, I'd rather have that model where I sell less, but I make way more profit and the margins are way higher. However, today we're going to be talking about the volume game, how to utilize the volume game, how to sell more consistently throughout the day. Pretty much every single hour of the day is pretty much where I'm at right now, and it's cool, you know, hearing that cha-ching like every hour or so is great. And it also increases your multi-quantity orders for having low tier items. And when I say low tier, just items that don't sell for much. So I'm talking about like Banana Republic, Calvin Klein button-up shirts, Gap, Old Navy, Polo Ralph Lauren, like Zara, Nike, Adidas, Reebok, just like very simple mall brands is what I'm talking about in this video. And the model does work. There's definitely people on eBay that make tens of thousands of dollars doing this type of model. However, they have a lot of storage and they are most likely going to be in a warehouse if they're selling that much per month. For me, I keep my business kind of small. My store is about 2,600 items. I have about 600 hats, 2,000 of which are half really good high tier items, the other half really just small brand type clothing. But this video, like I said, is about the volume-based business model. Where should you price it? How should you really go about this business model? And what I would say is try to get your items as cheap as possible, like dirt cheap, like super, super, super cheap, because you want that spread to be profitable. Because when you're selling things for $5 to $10, the shipping cost is going to pretty much slash everything in half. So you're going to be at like 50% margin. So for instance, let's say your item sells for like $15, right? And that's including shipping. So let's say the item was like $9.50. They pay like $5.90 shipping with all the fees and taxes and everything taken out. And including to ship it out, you're going to be left with around $7.50 profit, and then whatever you paid for the item. So I would not pay more than like $1.50 for really low tier lightweight items. They should be in like the $1 to $2 range. So the mall brand strategy is shooting to try to make about $10 profit per item, which is like total cost including shipping would be around $20. So if you can price things at around $15 and have it sell with $5.95 shipping or $8.90 shipping, and let's say the total cost including the shipping is around $20 to $25, you'll basically get half of whatever it's sold for. So when you're playing the volume game, the margin game, or not the margin game, the high volume mall tier game, it's usually a 50% profit. So you have to really take that in account and really decide if that's worth it for you. I like selling things that are higher end, like in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and getting $20 per item. If you can make $20 profit per item and you do 13 sales per day at $20 profit per item, then that's a six-figure business. So do the math, do the six-figure math, seven-figure math, see how much you would have to sell on a lower tier business model to make six figures. So I'm guessing like quick math would be around 26 sales per day at $10 profit per day would be about six figures. So that would mean that you should be listing around 30 items per day, which makes sense, right? So if you're doing 30 listings per day, you can have a pretty powerful business. If you do 15 listings per day, you'll make about half that, like 40,000 per year, maybe a little bit less. So if you do 15 low tier items that are $10 profit, it's basically just 150 times times 30 times 12 would be like probably what you would gross for that year. And so I like that model, you know, because there's a lot of light stuff that you can find at the bins, a bunch of light stuff that you can find at the bins that are going to be like $1 or even less. And I'm talking Old Navy, like I said, Gap, Reebok, Nike, Adidas, Calvin Klein, Banana Republic, Express. I know I'm missing a bunch, but those types of items, you can make a living off that. However, like I said, it's going to take way more time sorting it. It's going to take more time doing pictures and measurements and all that. So it's really up to you to decide what model you want to do. If you're just starting off, definitely try to go towards the higher route, the higher ASP model. If you're more established and you have the storage, then you can definitely incorporate, you know, t-shirts and just really basic mall brand items. And those can be good filler for, like I said, when you have gaps in the day where you don't have the $30 sale or $40 sale. If you could get $40 sales every hour, every 30 minutes, that'd be great. So it's really filling in the gap with these lower tier items. And if, like I said, if you're just starting, I would not recommend it. However, if you're more established, yes, you can incorporate more of those mall brand items. And I would say, like, with those very, very basic mall tier items, I would price them around like $15 to $18 if they're super, super basic, and even lower. So I would maybe just start it at $18, and it's probably not going to sell at $18 or $20. It's probably going to sell in a couple of months, maybe 3 to 6 months if you keep it there. If you really want your stuff moving fast, which is called the volume game, you kind of want things in and things out ASAP. Like, you want it in, you want it out. And like I said, it's way more of a grind, You're going to come to the post office with huge like bags of items, and that can take a lot of time. So some people like it, some people don't. Let me know what you like. What would you rather do? Would you rather just have 13 items a day at $20 profit, making 6 figures, or 26 items that are $10 profit? So I would go with the higher ASP personally. However, a mix of both can be nice, and you look like a badass when you're going into the post office with a bunch of packages. But and it's good for social media, promoting all of it. But yeah, I would say like most of it is not going to sell at $18 or $15. Some of it might. For the most part, it's going to be selling at around $12.88 to even $5. And so I would be very aggressive with your markdown strategies. If you're doing this model, try to get things in out, pretty much accept all offers. If you're going to the bins, stay for hours on end, get like 100 pieces. It'll last you a couple days depending on how many you're listing per day. But with that model, you have to be listing the same amount every single day. I talk about the eBay algorithm in my channel. You can really get a deeper, in-depth overall review of how the algorithm works, but you need to be listing the same amount every single day. If you list about 20, eventually you'll like start to sell 20 per day. So with the volume model to make 6 figures, you're going to have to get around 26 sales a day at $10 profit. So that would probably come out to like an $18 total sale or a $20 total sale, depending on how heavy the shipping is. I would charge about $5.95 for first class, or $6.50 for first class, any of those. And then I would charge $8.90 for anything that can fit in like a flat rate envelope. And try to get stuff in, try to get it out ASAP. Be way more aggressive with your markdowns. I wouldn't wait 90 days to mark it down 20%. I would do the 20% within a month. Just like mark everything off 20% each month, maybe add an additional 10%, and try to just play that volume game and try to get things down cheap. And hey, if you're making $5 profit and you're like sending out 20 per day, I mean, depending on how much your rent is, you could survive on that. However, if you're in a more expensive place, it's going to be harder to do that. So try to get a nice diverse mix of products in your store. And also with volume, you need a lot of storage. You need the SKU system as well. You have to. you can't be doing bins or just stacking them on top of each other. It's going to take you forever. I've been there. It takes you hours to find like 20 items. It's insane. So the SKU system is game changer. If you do volume, you have to do SKU system. If you just have like 300 items in your store, I would still recommend the SKU system. But let's say you have 300 super high ASP items, you could put them on a rack or you could put them in bins, I guess. However, this is the best model you can possibly do. So hopefully this helps you to decide if you want to keep doing volume or if you want to really upgrade and do more or make more with a higher ASP. So, and by the way, ASP means average sales price. So try to get your average sales price above $25. That's where you want to be. With that volume strategy, it's going to be really hard to get that. You'll be at like 15 or 18 ASP. So really, if you want to make good money, try to shoot to 25 to 30 ASP. You'll be in a really good spot. Try to keep your cost of goods really, really low. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this helped you. If it did, definitely like this video.